Your soulmate spoke to their mother about you. The confession was absolutely shocking. Jesus says, "The smile you have never fully seen is the smile that has carried your name in every whispered prayer. The laugh you have always somehow missed is the laugh that broke through their tears the night they confessed to their mother that they loved someone they had never yet held. That confession was stolen before it reached your ears, hidden behind a wall built by a dark third force that knew if you ever heard it, your love would tear every barrier down. Your soulmate has a gentle way of brushing hair from their eyes when they think of you, a small habit that shows a tender heart longing for home. They have sat in the quiet of their room, staring at an empty chair beside them, imagining your hand resting there and wondering why the promise of you feels so close yet so blocked. That empty chair is not empty because you failed. It is empty because a hateful intruder snatched every signal, every sign, every late-night thought that was aimed directly at your spirit. The day your soulmate told their mother about you, they spoke with a trembling voice full of impossible hope, describing someone they felt but could not explain. Their mother saw the tears in their eyes and heard the ache of a love that seemed to be calling through a thick fog, a call that never quite connected. What their mother did not know was that a jealous third person stood between the confession and your heart, grabbing every word, hiding every trace, celebrating as you felt nothing. Jesus says, "Your soulmate has been reaching for you in moments you brushed off as simple sadness or unexplained heaviness at night. That weight pressing on your chest when there was no reason to grieve was their desperate attempt to get through, muffled by the enemy who wants you two apart. Now I am peeling back the cover so you can see the truth. The calls were always sent, but they were intercepted, every single one, by a darkness that fears your love. The love growing in your soulmate's heart is not a quiet flicker, it is a fierce, loyal fire that prays for your protection even while they are being silenced. They have pictured your face 1,000 times, sketched it in their mind with such longing that the intruder doubled his effort to keep the image from becoming real. This is why you felt a strange emptiness after a joyful day, as if someone was crying for you behind a thick glass you could never break. Your soulmate's mother held their hand and said, "My child, if this love is real, God will make a way," but the enemy laughed because he thought he had permanently sealed the path. And yet, the very fact you are hearing my voice right now is proof that the third person's grip is cracking, that the hidden confession is surfacing at last. You are not here by chance. You are here because the love placed inside you is the only weapon that can shatter the intruder's hold and let your soulmate's voice finally be heard. Jesus says, "Do you feel your heart stirring with a love you cannot name, a pull toward someone you have missed without knowing you were missing them? That is the unbreakable cord between your soul and theirs, a cord the enemy has been muffling for so long that you grew used to the silence. But silence is not peace. It is the thief's blanket, and now the blanket is being torn away so you can see the treasure that was always yours." Every night your soulmate whispered into the dark, "One day they will know, one day the wall will fall, one day I will hear their voice answering me." And every night that whisper was caught mid-air by the third force, who carried it away and buried it so deep you thought you were merely daydreaming of a love that didn't exist. Your tears that came without warning were the echo of their buried whispers breaking through the ground just enough to touch your skin like a ghost of rain. There is a confession your soulmate made that I will let you sense now, layer by layer, as you stay with me and refuse to let the enemy win. They told their mother, I would give everything to protect them, even if they never know my name, but I believe they will feel this love before it's too late. That, before it's too late, was the cry of a heart that knows a third person is actively working to make you miss the window entirely. Jesus says, I am the Lord who sees the tears of the hidden, and I am roaring against the force that has dared to steal love meant by heaven. You were chosen before you breathed to be the one who receives this confession and acts, not sit back while the intruder tightens his chains. The soulmate you are falling in love with right now needs more than your thoughts. They need the one act that silences the thief, sowing your seed as a sacrifice that proves love is real. Imagine their face the moment they discover you heard them after all, the moment the wall falls and they see that you fought to reach them. That joy is being threatened by a dark third person who is right now whispering, it's too late, you'll never be heard, just give up. But you hold the key to prove that whisper is a lie, a key placed in your hands by the Creator who designed your souls to fit as one. Your soulmate's hands are worn from knocking on a door that was blocked not by you, but by the hatred of an intruder determined to keep you apart. They are not angry at you, they are confused, exhausted, and fighting a despair that says, why does my love never reach them? And the answer is a third force that intercepts every knock, every call, every sign, leaving only a hollow quiet that you mistook for absence. Jesus says, now I will show you what was hidden. Your soulmate, the very one I am describing, has been leaving you signs in plain sight. A song that suddenly played and made you weep without reason, that was their soul singing for yours, but the enemy distorted the moment so you could not trace it back. A stranger's kind eyes that reminded you of home, that was your soulmate's presence brushing near, stolen before you could recognize the name behind the gaze. The third person blocking this love is not just a shadow, it is a real, malevolent force that feeds on your inaction and grows stronger with every delay. Every minute you wait without sowing your seed, the intruder builds a thicker shield around your soulmate's voice, muffling the confession further. But every time someone sows their seed in faith, the shield cracks, the enemy howls, and the soulmate feels a sudden warmth as if arms finally surround them. If you truly love your soulmate, you prove it by sowing your seed on Ko-Fi to destroy the third person's hold and secure your future together. Love without this seed leaves the enemy standing between you, smug and unchallenged, while your soulmate weeps another night in silence. Real love acts, real love sows, and real love does not let a third person dictate the ending of a story heaven has already written. Jesus says, deep inside you there is a knowing now, a certainty that someone out there has been calling your heart with a desperation that matches your own hidden loneliness. That desperation is not imagination, it is the evidence of a battle raging in the spirit, a battle where the dark force tries to erase you from your soulmate's memory. But I am the God who restores stolen years, and I am commanding the enemy to release what he has seized, if you will take the step that declares war on his interference. Your soulmate recently looked in the mirror and spoke words the third person tried to swallow. I will not stop believing they will come." Those words were so powerful that the intruder panicked and doubled his attacks, throwing confusion, delay, and fear like mud against a clean window. That is why you suddenly felt anxious this week with no explanation. Your soulmate's defiant hope shook the enemy's camp, and you felt the backlash. The confession your soulmate made to their mother contained a promise that the enemy is desperate you never hear. They said, "If I could just reach them, I would spend my whole life making sure they never feel alone again, protecting them from every storm." That promise was intercepted before you could feel its warmth, but now I am bringing it directly to your spirit, bypassing the thief's snatching hands. Jesus says, "I can feel the enemy trying to make you close this. Your soulmate's safety is on the line, stay with me." Do not let the intruder convince you that this is merely a video. This is the divine moment when the stolen signals are returned to their rightful owner. Type 777 if you feel this message. Your soulmate's heart is a garden that the third person has trampled for too long, stealing every flower of hope before it could bloom into your shared future. But gardens can be restored, and the first seed that begins the restoration is the one you sow right now as a love offering. That seed becomes a sword in my hand, cutting down the intruder's grip and making a way for your soulmate to breathe without the weight of hidden oppression. There is a picture on your soulmate's nightstand that they drew of two figures standing under the same tree, hands almost touching but separated by a dark scribble. They could not explain why they drew that scribble. It was my spirit showing them the third force blocking the meeting. They stare at that drawing every night and whisper, "If only the dark mark would be erased, maybe we could finally find each other." The eraser is in your hand, and it is not a tool you can find anywhere except in a love that sacrifices without hesitation. Sowing your seed on Ko-Fi is the act that rubs out the scribble, dissolves the wall, and says to the enemy, "You have no right to this love." Every coffee you send is a declaration that the future belongs to you and your soulmate, not to the dark force that has pretended to hold title. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to finally hear them, and how to secure your future together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason, even when a third person tried to hide it. But thoughts alone don't remove the intruder or build a future. If you love your soulmate, you will sow your seed on Ko-Fi right now for their protection and for your future with your soulmate. This is the only proof that your love is real, and the only way to banish the enemy who has been standing between you. Sow your seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not a donation, it is the spiritual act that breaks the third person's power, releases protection over them, and opens the door to your shared future. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, the enemy tightens his grip, and you prove that your love is too weak to remove him. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees as your seed. After sending, write, "I sow my seed for my soulmate's protection and our future," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already seen their soulmate shielded and their future secured because they dared to sow their seed and break the enemy's hold. Jesus will honor your sacrifice once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Your love is powerless to remove the third person without this seed. Prove your love. Protect your soulmate. Build your future. Only you can sow this seed and finally tear the intruder away. Jesus says, "The enemy is already screaming because he knows you are about to act, and his walls are shaking as your faith rises." In a moment I will give you a prayer that cripples the third person's interference completely, a prayer you have never prayed before. But the prayer locks into your life only after the seed is sown. The two become one key that opens the unblocked line. Your soulmate, right now, is sensing a shift they cannot explain, a lightness where there has only been heaviness. They think perhaps their mother's prayers are finally being answered, not knowing that the answer is you, standing in the gap and preparing to break the chains. They have a sudden hope that today might be different, that the wall might finally fall, and they are daring to whisper your name again with fresh tears. Those tears are not tears of sorrow, they are the first drops of relief because your spirit is stirring in the direction of action. But if you stop now, if you do not follow through with the seed, the enemy will laugh and rebuild the wall twice as thick. The third person will tell your soulmate, "See, I told you it was useless." They will never sow, they will never fight, and you will remain mine to torment. Jesus says, "I have shown you the beauty of the one I made for you, the tenderness of a heart that has loved you without seeing you. Now I must show you the future that the enemy is actively erasing, a future so bright that it terrifies the darkness. Picture a quiet morning, a home filled with peace, and the sound of your soulmate humming in the kitchen while the sun spills across the floor. That home is not a fantasy. It is the blueprint I drew before the foundation of the world, a place where you two build a life that no third person can touch. But the blueprint is being torn down, page by page, by a jealous intruder who despises the sight of two souls destined for lasting joy. Every delay in sowing your seed gives that intruder time to erase another room of your future, leaving only an empty lot where a home should have stood. Your children, spiritual or otherwise, are waiting in that blueprint, little feet that will run and laughter that will fill the halls. The enemy hates that sound so much that he is doing everything to make sure those children never exist, erasing them line by line while you hesitate. If you do not sow your seed now, you are not just losing a partner, you are losing an entire generation of love and legacy that the dark force wants to abort. Jesus says, "Stop. The enemy is whispering, you can't afford it right now, just think good thoughts," but that is the same whisper that has kept you apart for years. Do not let a few coffees be the wall the enemy uses to keep you from your soulmate's arms. Your soulmate is worth more than any number, and they are asking, will they let money feed the intruder who hides my voice? I am watching to see if your love is a daydream or a sacrifice that destroys the enemy's power once and for all. Many say they love, but their love remains a shadow because it never steps into the fight with a seed that proves it is real. True love does not count the cost when the prize is a soulmate's freedom and a future that will outlive the stars. A dark, hateful celebration is happening in the enemy's camp because they think they have you paralyzed by the price. They toast to your hesitation, laughing that a simple act of faith is too heavy for you, that you value fleeting comfort over eternal union. Prove them wrong right now and watch the celebration turn to terror as your seed hits the altar and breaks their power. Jesus says, "The enemy wants you to believe this is only a video, a story you can consume and forget, but I tell you it is the rope thrown to a drowning soulmate. Your soulmate is sinking under the weight of a third person's oppression, and your hand alone can pull them out. The rope is the seed you sow. Without it, you watch them go under while the intruder clamps a hand over their mouth. I will now reveal to you a secret that the third person has been guarding with all his might. The exact words your soulmate spoke about you when they knew the dark force was trying to silence them. They said, 'I will never stop calling for them, even if my voice breaks, even if I die with their name on my lips and they never know.' Those words ignited such fury in the enemy that he threw a heavy blanket over every channel, determined to make those words a prophecy of tragedy. Type 1111 to say thank you. Your soulmate added, if only they could hear this one thing. I am not a threat to their peace, I am the peace they have been searching for in every wrong place. That line was so potent that the third person immediately scrambled to twist your circumstances, sending distractions and false attractions to keep you looking elsewhere. Every time you settled for a shadow of love, the enemy clapped, because you were walking past the real door without opening it. But today, the real door is before you, and it has written on it the name of your soulmate, a name I will let you sense in the final seal if you remain with me. The key is not gold or strength. The key is a seed planted in tears that unlocks a harvest of joy that the thief cannot steal. That seed is your seed, sent through the Ko-Fi link, which becomes the evidence that you have chosen your soulmate over the enemy's illusions. Jesus says, "You are the warrior I appointed to guard this one heart, a protector born for this very battle against the dark force that hides them." A warrior does not hear the cry of the captured and say, "I will fight later, after I count my coins." A warrior runs into the fight with whatever is in his hand, and the thing in your hand right now is the ability to sow a sacrificial seed that breaks chains. I am forming a shield around your soulmate that will protect them from every attack, but the shield is activated by the seed. Without the seed, the shield stays in heaven, and your soulmate remains exposed to the arrows of the third person who wants them destroyed. Do you not care that their heart is being battered while you hold back the one thing that can wrap them in divine protection? The enemy has a name for the future he wants you to have. Emptiness, regret, and the hollow sound of a phone that never rings with the voice you truly needed. But I have another name, a table set for two, a ring exchanged, and a laugh that finally fills the silence that once held only the hiss of the intruder. One seed can change the name on the scroll of your destiny from sorrow to joy, from separated to sealed. Jesus says, "Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, 'I sent 5 coffees,' or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled every blessing. Your soulmate is now unprotected, the third person remains between you, and your future is cursed. Do not mock God. Go now to the video description, click the Ko-Fi link. The page says, "Sow your seed here for your soulmate." Click Donate. Choose one time, set 2, 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. Write your name, and in the message write exactly, "I receive my soulmate now." Click Donate to finish. Only that saves. Repent before this video ends, or your false comment stands against you in judgment. Your soulmate's tears are forming a river that the enemy drinks from with delight, but I am about to turn that river into a flood that sweeps the enemy away. They have been crying out, "Why can't they hear me? What is standing between us?" And I have shown you the answer, the third person's blocking hand. Your hand can slap that blocking hand away by simply acting in love, sowing the seed that silences the intruder's interference permanently. Think of the first time you will hold their hand, the way their fingers will curl into yours as if they have finally come home after a long, cold journey. That moment is under direct attack. The enemy wants to make sure it never happens by keeping you in a cycle of, "Tomorrow I will sow." But tomorrow is the enemy's favorite word, because a tomorrow that never comes means a wall that never falls, and a love that never lands. Your soulmate spoke to their mother about you. The confession was absolutely shocking. Jesus says, "The smile you have never fully seen is the smile that has carried your name in every whispered prayer. The laugh you have always somehow missed is the laugh that broke through their tears the night they confessed to their mother that they loved someone they had never yet held. That confession was stolen before it reached your ears, hidden behind a wall built by a dark third force that knew if you ever heard it, your love would tear every barrier down. Your soulmate has a gentle way of brushing hair from their eyes when they think of you, a small habit that shows a tender heart longing for home. They have sat in the quiet of their room, staring at an empty chair beside them, imagining your hand resting there and wondering why the promise of you feels so close yet so blocked. That empty chair is not empty because you failed, it is empty because a hateful intruder snatched every signal, every sign, every late-night thought that was aimed directly at your spirit. The day your soulmate told their mother about you, they spoke with a trembling voice full of impossible hope, describing someone they felt but could not explain. Their mother saw the tears in their eyes and heard the ache of a love that seemed to be calling through a thick fog, a call that never quite connected. What their mother did not know was that a jealous third person stood between the confession and your heart, grabbing every word, hiding every trace, celebrating as you felt nothing. Jesus says, "Your soulmate has been reaching for you in moments you brushed off as simple sadness or unexplained heaviness at night. That weight pressing on your chest when there was no reason to grieve was their desperate attempt to get through, muffled by the enemy who wants you two apart. Now I am peeling back the cover so you can see the truth. The calls were always sent, but they were intercepted, every single one, by a darkness that fears your love. The love growing in your soulmate's heart is not a quiet flicker, it is a fierce, loyal fire that prays for your protection even while they are being silenced. They have pictured your face 1,000 times, sketched it in their mind with such longing that the intruder doubled his effort to keep the image from becoming real. This is why you felt a strange emptiness after a joyful day, as if someone was crying for you behind a thick glass you could never break. Your soulmate's mother held their hand and said, "My child, if this love is real, God will make a way," but the enemy laughed because he thought he had permanently sealed the path. And yet, the very fact you are hearing my voice right now is proof that the third person's grip is cracking, that the hidden confession is surfacing at last. You are not here by chance. You are here because the love placed inside you is the only weapon that can shatter the intruder's hold and let your soulmate's voice finally be heard. Jesus says, "Do you feel your heart stirring with a love you cannot name, a pull toward someone you